Hi everybody, this is Rhys Barber from Audiology Associates. Apologies for not putting a video up last night. I was a bit under the weather, so I put it up tonight instead. We've got two patients in this compilation, both of which we use Jobson horns for the majority of the wax removal. So you can see this first patient has this very sticky type earwax. It's very soft around the edges, but does still have a little bit of sort of rigidity in the center of the wax there, which is why it's bending and moving slightly. So we've got the standard size ulnar tube in here first, trying to see if we can detach it from the canal walls before we get the main bulk of this out. But as you can see, it's mostly just kind of moving and stretching and just moving from side to side, really. Just managed to break that front end off there. Just going to try and lift this bottom of the wax here, just see how free moving it is. It does look like it's moving quite freely. There you go. You can see as we get a grip on the top, it's really wiggling back and forth, but it's very, very wedged in here. I'm trying to draw it forwards with the suction tube at the moment. Hopefully then, if we can draw it forwards far enough, we'll just have enough of a gap at the top to be able to get the Jobson horn through there as well. There we go. So there's the Jobson horn going in. You can see the gap we were trying to create by bringing it forwards. We've created that little gap between the attic of the ear canal there and the ball of wax itself. So just pulling this forward, you can see that little bit harder, darker material at the back end of that wax there. So we draw this forwards. There we are, you can see it, the change in colour. Look at that, much lighter type wax at the entrance to the canal. And as we get much deeper in that older, darker, harder wax that's oxidized a lot more, giving that much darker appearance. Thank you to all our new subscribers as well. I think we've got about 8,000 subscribers in the last month. So thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Give me a shout out below and we'll try and say hi to as many of you as we possibly can. You can see it just starting to come away there. So we've got that whole section out. There's the eardrum there. And that's the piece of wax we removed. So you can see just how solid that piece of wax was there. It just wasn't wanted to budge very easily in there. So this is the second patient in the compilation. We did both ears on this patient. You can see the initial ear here. The first one has this very dark type wax in there as well. So we're just going to try and use the standard size ulnar tube here just to hold that canal wall. You can see a very, very narrow entrance to the canal wall. It's a ear canal itself, not canal wall. And then we're holding that back now using the standard size ulnar tube. Just trying to get some sort of grip. You can see it's really hard, but can you see the gap to the top right hand corner there? So that's what we're going to aim for with the Jobson horn. And thank you for watching the top 10 as well while I was away on holiday last week. I just took a break from work for a week, didn't really go anywhere, but there were some really positive comments. And thank you so much for the community. You are, I know some other channels have a few issues with trolls and people being not so nice in the comments, but we have the most positive community. So thank you so much for keeping it a positive community as well, guys. It's a pleasure to go on and read the comments. It really is. So we're struggling. You can see we've got a little bit of olive oil's been released here, which is just what's blurring the camera slightly there. We have to work quite close to this wax because we're using the side of the endoscope to hold the canal open. And just trying to get behind it then with the Jobson horn, just going over the top. There you go. We got behind it. As we pull out that whole chunk, there you go. Up out it comes in one piece. And we just pick it up there. You can see there with the standard size ulnar tube. Looking behind that then, there's the eardrum. Looking nice and healthy. It's all looking good in there. This second ear, there was a lot more wax in this one. We've got some really thick type wax here. Not very easy to get out with the Jobson horn. I'll explain why in a second, but as you kind of go in here, what you'll see is as we push down on the wax, you can see there's not enough hold in the wax together to get that really good grip and that really good kind of pull we would normally get on a large chunk of wax. If anything, what's happening is it's just breaking the surface down. So what you end up with then is causing this kind of furrow, this divot right in the center of the wax. So this kind of channel that you've grooved out then with the Jobson horn. And what that effectively does, it pushes the wax to the canal wall. So when you've got this kind of more sticky type wax like this, you do end up getting a lot of it stuck to those canal walls, which makes it a little bit more difficult, because remember we talk about how sensitive the canal walls are, and obviously we don't want to cause any discomfort for the patient. So if you're having to kind of really dig into that and press against the canal wall, it means it can be uncomfortable when you use the Jobson horn then. You'll see what I mean about that groove. You can just about see, there we are, you got a better view there. See how it's the wax is still stuck to those walls there, but you get that deep groove in the center. I was playing with my son the other day. We were using Play-Doh, and that is, I think they have Play-Doh in the US, but it's the same kind of consistency. Now imagine you've got Play-Doh inside a tub, and it's all stuck to the, and you're trying to get it out. You know, if you kind of pull the center, you're just going to get these kind of grooves coming in the center, but the sides are going to hold it in. That's what's happening here. So yeah, I've tried to steer away from food and allergies this time. So if you imagine that, trying to get that out, you've got this really kind of sticky material stuck to the side. So we need to get rid of that now before we can release the rest. So we're just trying to take one of those sides away. Now the left-hand side, see how that's coming away? There you go. So we managed to take that piece away there on the left. It's actually fallen out of the canal there. Looks quite dry. And we're pulling. You can see it's kind of fallen into the canal a little bit there. There we are, just swipe it out the way there with the Jobson horn. We'll pick that up after using the sonotube. Sometimes when the wax is sticky like this, you can't really get the Jobson horn in. Now you can see the darker material stuck to the right side. See that white material at the back of the wax there? That's actually a bit of dead skin. So that's not the eardrum you can see there. But look how much of this is still stuck. And look how dark that is. It's that kind of really deep brown now, almost ebony in colour. So we're going to use the Jobson horn now to try and push into this wax on the right side. So use the bent end of the Jobson horn there to get into that side. There you go. And pull that forwards. Now if there's enough consistency there, it will drag the, smack straight to the camera. Will drag it all out. But you can see it's just broken the front end off it there, unfortunately. See how it's all really stuck? So now would be a good time. We've just tried pulling that out, but it's just taking more chunks off. Now what we don't want to do is get in that deep that we have to use the Jobson horn really deep in the canal. So I'm going to use the Zollner tube here now to lift off the canal wall. Now you may find that the wax on this underside then, the one that's been closest to the canal wall, is sometimes really dry and can be quite hard. So I'm going to just test it using the crocodile forceps. You may notice like a little skin bump there at the bottom. It's not a pimple, it's just like a little raised section of skin, almost a bit like a skin tag if you like. You can see just at the entrance. As you get a grip on this though, it hasn't quite got the kind of solidity around the outside to be able to hold on to it, but we have pushed it off the canal wall there. So let's try with the Jobson horn again. You can just about see the end. We're slowing this down now. We're digging into that wax there, and then we're going to use this backward pulling motion then. We're hoping it's going to pull a lot of this. If we can get to that base layer, the layer that's closest to the canal wall, and just gently bring this forward, just scraped along the surface again. This type of wax is quite frustrating to remove because it's so sticky, but you don't get the good grip you normally would. That looks good. We've got a good grip there. Look how it moves. See the whole side now moving forwards. Look at that pulling away. If we can keep... just came away again. It's almost there. We've brought it forwards. It's starting to move now. So I think if we can get in there one more time now, about 2/3 of the way down, we can get a good grip. Let's have a look. Yep. We're just starting to pull on that front side. Look at the whole bottom section there moving forwards. Can you see it now? Look at it all sliding along the canal wall. This whole thing is staying together really nicely. That's the side that was stuck to the right canal wall. You can see there coming out. Little hairs on the entrance to the canal. It's just dropped. We've pulled it forward, but we've actually got another section to get behind. So we're going to push in just, there you go, just over the top again. Draw that down. There we are. Do you see the white material underneath it? That was the skin material, the dry skin we could see attached to the left-hand canal wall there. So there we go. There's the eardrum there. You can see to the left-hand side all that white material there. And you can see it, if you look at the 3 centimeters, so 1.25 inches, you'll just see the skin. I won't point to the screen, you can't see it. Just the skin material that's attached around the outside edge of that wax. I keep forgetting you guys can't see what I can see. So it's all around there. So that block there between 3/4 of an inch, 1.25 inches, I'm sorry. That is all one block. That was the last piece we took away. All the other pieces, the first one you can see to the right hand side there, which is between up to 3/8 of an inch, sorry. That was what came out the first year, so the 5 to 6 centimeter mark. And what came out then between sort of 2 centimeters and 4.5, or from sort of about 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches there. That was that large plug we took out the second year. But you've also got all the other bits around that as well. You can see all the tiny pieces that we were taking away at the very beginning, which were all coming away in tiny little bits from the Jobson horn. Well, I'll go back to the big screen. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed narrating over the top of it. We'll go back to normal again now, guys. So I'll post again on Wednesday and on Friday. If you do enjoy the video, sorry, I keep forgetting to say, if you could like, subscribe, you can share also if you want to. You're more than welcome to. But as always, guys, take care of yourselves and one another, and I shall see you again on Wednesday.